Fifth dimension, Aquarius I am. We in the Aquarius age for the next 2,000 years, you dig?
Swing low, time to move on. Light years in time, ahead of our time.
I want to free your mind by helping you understand the zodiac signs. That's right, you're live with Aquaman in the zodiac zone where the cosmos is your home. I'm your very own Anpu, the real urban guru, coming through on the mothership. So let's open up your cosmic memory bank and swing down to earth with a shit stain. What's happening, everybody? This is Anpu, the urban guru, man, swinging through. We about to get on Charlamagne the devil. That's what they call him, right? We're going to get into my man Charlamagne the God today, man. This is going to be a phenomenal one. Shout out to Warren G, man, who clicked the like button on the video that I did with Warren G and Nate Dogg. If you ain't seen that, check that video out. Shout out to my man Irv Gotti, who also clicked the like button on the video that I did of him explaining what his astrologer told him, man. So shout out to those two cats. But before we get started, man, of course, man, let me get into some very quick announcements that we have. A lot of stuff going on. Listen, tomorrow, the 13th, is the free webinar. Only thing you got to do is just go to theimaginationguru.com, drop your email off. When you drop your email off, man, we're going to communicate with you tomorrow at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, dead sharp on that timeline right there, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. You're going to receive an email. You're also going to receive inside the email, you're going to have a conference call, number to call, and then you're going to have a link that you'll click on for the visual presentation. All right. So again, this is a free webinar with Minister Jew tomorrow, and it's a sneak peek into the upcoming webinar on 7/23. So go to theimaginationguru.com and drop your email off. All right. Also, mark your calendars for August the 20th, Kitty Karma. All right, it's going to be an online webinar with me. Listen, what I'm going to show you with Charlamagne today, you definitely want to understand what I'm going to have to present inside of Kitty Karma, removing negative energy before it starts. All right, you want to get inside of this, man. This is going to be special. All right, first 10 people that actually sign up, I'm going to give you free readings inside of the webinar so I can educate the audience. All right. I'm going to educate the audience, sort of what you're going to see right here. All right. With Charlamagne's. All right. So make that happen. All right. You want to get into this. It's going to be off the chain. Again, the first 10 people, I got you so we can educate the audience. But I'm going to give you this webinar absolutely free. And the way that you can get into this webinar free is grab the solar and lunar eclipse special that I'm doing. Crackhead prices, man. Listen. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch the Venus Williams joint, you go back and you watch the Nate Dogg joint, you watch the videos that have been coming up lately, I'm telling you, I'm on to something, and it's just a well-known phenomenon. It's just a well-known fact that solar and lunar eclipses mark dramatic turns in a person's life. All right. So take advantage of this particular special, because when you do, I'll put you in the August webinar absolutely free. All right. So before we get started, let me go to the break.
Are you plagued by trauma, abandonment, or abuse? The Imagination Guru has helped thousands just like you overcome emotional memories that prevent you from happiness and success using the power of your mind. Overcome your trauma, overcome your abandonment, overcome your abuse by first making the decision right now to call the Imagination Guru at 1-877-345-3797. and live the life you deserve.
Peace, this is Shantae. I want to say how much I love 2L Love Fund. I've gotten my bills paid many times. I've helped other people get their bills paid. I love it. It always comes at the right time, and I would tell anybody and everybody to at least try it, because it works.
All right. So let me take a little different twist here. This is a birth chart of our man Charlamagne the God. All right. And I want you to look at the red points with the red arrows, because point number 1, point number 2, point number 3 in red. Notice these are 3 planetary bodies, technically 4, but 1, 2, and 3 and points in the red arrows, in the red box rather, the red arrows are pointing to 3 planets. And these 3 planets are having a communication with one another, so to speak. If you can kind of remember, the mythology is the planets are the gods. Okay, this is interesting. We're talking about Charlamagne the God. So the gods are having a conversation when everyone is born. Okay, the question is, what the hell are they talking about? Are they arguing with each other? Are they having harmonious relationships with one another or not? It's sort of a way to look at it. All right. So at point number 1 in red is the planet Venus. Point number 2 is going to be Saturn and Mars. And point number 3 is going to be Neptune. All of these are connected by a red right angle triangle known as a T-square, but they're all talking to one another. Okay. Now, here's the premise of part 1. Part 1 of today's show, I'm going to show why Charlamagne the God is easily, and I mean easily, perceived as disrespectful. Ashanti blocked him, right? Chili from TLC blocks him, right? He's easily considered a very disrespectful man, okay? All right? And I'm laughing because I remember having a conversation and it's like, and he married? He got the nerve, as a woman, like he got the nerve to be married? And that's disrespectful. I feel sorry for his wife, the way he be talking to other women and stuff like this, right? All right. So anyway, so I actually was about to get into an argument to a degree, like the pressure was on me in a sense, because just of the conversation, the shit that Charlamagne say out his mouth, right? And how it reflect the male species, all right? Especially if, I ain't even gonna get into that part. But anyway, and so everyone knows that Charlamagne, without a shadow of a doubt, has a tone of perception that he carries as disrespectful towards women. Okay? That's my premise. All right? So at point number 1, we see the planet Venus. Okay? And Venus has an energy of females. Facts. This is an absolute fact. You can see this. Venus carries the energy of females. All right. So let's move on to the next energy. At point number 2, we saw Mars and Saturn. Mars is an energy of sexuality. Okay? Of sexuality. Facts. And anger and blood as well. All right? Sexuality. And then Saturn carries an energy of coldness. Very cold. Charlamagne, you can say he comes off very cold. Like he ain't got no sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like he has no mercy, right? It's just he feels very cold. All right. And then last but not least is Neptune that we saw at point number 3. Neptune is the energy that carries deception. Also drugs and alcohol. He low-key got the Bill Cosby mark, and I'm going to get into Bill Cosby probably in the next video. So in this communication that we see with Charlamagne, remember, points 1, 2, and 3 in red, these communications in red are very harsh communications. All right. In my craft, we understand it because point number 2 is being squared by point number 1 and point number 3. Okay. And then points 1 and 3 are in opposition to one another. Opposition represents a conflict. The square represents somebody coming at me sideways. Because what is a square? A square is like the uppercase L. It's a square, right? That's a square. So when they say stand on your square, man, technically that is really a celestial science, an imprint that has everything to do with when you can fall off your square. Because if you're born with certain squares, you dig, that means there's certain challenges that you have to overcome in this lifetime. Real story. All right. So this harsh communication that is taking place within this red triangle is taking place with the female energy. Again, Venus is number 1, females 2 is the coldness coupled together with sexual energy. And then 3 is deception. You can see where Charlamagne easily admitted that he was a liar. He was a cheater. All right. So let's move into the purple aspect of what we got going on. So and this is another red triangle, right? So in the purple box at point number 1 is the moon. We know it's feminine, all right, but this is the moon. And then point number 2 is Mercury. And then point number 3 is Pluto. And all three of these are having conversations with each other, and they're not good conversations that they're having. All right, I'm telling you, they're just not good. So let's get into it. All right, the moon, as you can see, a keyword for the moon is mother. Right, we always call the moon is the Earth's satellite, so we say Mother Earth. And the moon, they say, has an effect on the tides, the waters on the Earth. So therefore, a woman, when she gives birth, you know, the water break. Okay, so they're very synonymous. The moon has always been synonymous with female energy. In the mythology, this is Diana. Now watch this, y'all. This is what I'm telling y'all. God will always find a way to express himself, what I call through culture, through hip hop expression. But the world culture, period, which to me, every single thing that takes place in the world is hip hop, in my mind. All right. So Michael Jackson came out with Dirty Diana, which is the moon. But this is the same man whose most famous dance is what? Moonwalking. Okay. So I'm bugging, right? Yeah. All right. So anyway, again, you know, these stars, we call them stars, and then they get stars on the boardwalk of fame out in Hollywood. I'm just here to show you, man, what the celestial stars is pointing to, all right, and how you can map this thing out and be a boss in your whole life, all right? So anyway, so the moon is female, okay? Then we saw that the moon was in opposition to point number 2, which is Mercury. Mercury simply means speaking, okay? So now, since it was in opposition, when Charlamagne speaks to women or speaks about women, the female energy is going to feel like, yo, damn, why you coming at me? Are you disrespectful, dude? You understand what I'm saying? Because the female energy is at odds with his psychology. Real talk, because Mercury represents the mind. You can find that in here somewhere, the mind. All right? So therefore, women, the female energy is in opposition with the mind. All right? And then last but not least is point number 3, which is Pluto. And Pluto has 2 keywords here. I'm going to outline: orgasm and sex. And you will hear him talk all the time about sucking the booty to a fart, sucking on the clitoris till you squirt on me. You hear him always having sexual talk. And the women, to a degree, would be like, ooh, like, you know, damn, nigga, like I'm supposed to be on the interview talking about business. And you know what I mean? So it's this sideways kind of conversation / sideways type of feeling that these women have. All right. And again, you can see it just so clearly inside of the chart if you know what you're looking at. All right. Now, let me move on to a greater part of my man, because I just don't want to hit him with the low blow in the stomach. All right. I want to talk about his success too, because Charlamagne has a book, a New York Times bestseller. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to that. You know what I mean? And let's talk about that, because you can see that. All right. So what I see with that is clearly when Charlamagne was, when he was born, notice he was born with Pluto at the hand of the Virgin. All right. This is an astronomical fact. The reason why you don't see a body in that red cursor is because, again, Pluto is so far away, I would have to zoom in. But if I zoom in, I'll zoom in past the constellation and you won't be able to see the constellation. But Pluto is there. Excuse me. And this is why on the left-hand side at the very top, you see the word Pluto, because my cursor is searched on Pluto. So Pluto is way behind the hand of the Virgin on June 29th, 1980. Charlamagne's birthday. Okay, so let's look at a keyword for Pluto in the sentences. Up in the paragraph, it says that this is the house, the 8th house Pluto rules is shared resources. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell is a house? A house ain't nothing but an area of space. Literally, it's an area of space. Different regions of space govern different energy periods. Look at the sun. In the morning, it looked like the sun come up in the east. There's a certain energy, the beginning of the day. As the day progressed through the afternoon, the sun is in the south. So when the sun is in the south, it's like lunchtime, it's recreation. And then when the sun gets in the west, it's the evening time. We just saw right there, looking at the sun, right? We saw 3 different energetic expressions with the sun alone, coming from the east, the south, and the west. And then when it's dark, you say the sun is in the north. Ain't no light over there for those that's in the mystic studies. All right. So anyway, a house just simply represents an area of space. These different areas of space, you can just draw a circle above your head outside, and then these different areas of space are divided evenly amongst 12 areas, and then these 12 different areas represent 12 different things in your life. Facts, okay? So when it says Pluto rules the 8th house, it's talking about a region of space that actually governs joint finances, who you having sex with and who you sharing your money with, okay? It governs this region. So it also represents power, okay? So my point here is joint resources and power. This is where the planet was at, all right, when he was born. Now, when you speed it up to April the 18th, 2017, the release date of his book, notice the planet Jupiter is in Virgo as well. And Jupiter carries an energy of abundance, luck, good fortune, profits, and philosophy. Is a book not a philosophy? He's giving you his perception. That's his philosophy. That's his take. But he's been on the New York Times bestseller list for weeks on weeks on weeks. That's profit. That is it luck? I don't know. Could be. Is it abundance? Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. The planet of good fortune is in alignment with the planet that represents power and also represents joint finances, meaning you're joining up with someone else who has money. It's not solely your money. So let's just say if the book was published by Simon & Schuster, then he's teaming up in a partnership with someone, that's Pluto, who has joint finances, who has finances, and they could join, and then they got a business venture together. You feel me? And so looking at that Jupiter-Pluto conjunction at the time, it shows why he will be successful. Because anytime you're messing with a Jupiter alignment, Jupiter's energy we see is good luck and abundance. All right. So I wanted to put that out there. I'll say this in closing to my man, Seed of God, man. Listen, bro, I see some other things that I don't want to, it's personal. I don't want to project nothing and put that out there. I'm just covering what people already know. I'm not going to violate nobody's space and give them, a future forecast and whatnot. But I'm going to tell you this, my friend. There's something with the feminine energy clearly in your life that needs to be balanced on a karmic level, and then also on a more intermediate level. You have to watch. There's a woman in your life that you're going to have to mind. You're going to have to watch their health. All right. And then also the story that Irv Gotti shared on the Breakfast Club, since he's a Cancer. All right. And you're a Cancer. There's something else that's going on in the chart. That Irv Gotti story is potentially very, very relative to you. All right. I'm talking about you being tested in the immediate future. All right. And I wouldn't say it if I just wouldn't say it, man. I'm just telling you the truth. All right. So hopefully you get this, bro. You see it. You know what I mean? And, chop it up with me. You know what I mean? Real talk. Because I definitely see some shit where the tides look like it could potentially take a change for you. I'll just put it like that. I won't get into the details of what. All right. But I just put that out there. But much success to you, bro. Much success to everyone. Listen, man, if you're new to this channel, click the like button, man. Subscribe. Share with a friend. I always say, everybody know they zodiac sign. Everybody know it. So it's time to come on out the zodiac closet, man. Listen, the self-activation workbook, you can get to it on myastrologycoach.com. All right. This is a book that'll help you understand yourself. I purposely designed it that way where it's going to teach you how to pull up your own chart, and you got to get busy describing some things that you see so you can have a better understanding of yourself. Order the book, man. I personally autograph that thing for you, man. Astro God, man. Seriously, man. Seriously. I'm telling you, I'm really good at this thing. All right, I do this straight up. But for real, I'll get your autograph copy, myastrologycoach.com. You can go to the shop tab, the books. It's right there. Get that bare minimum. I'm on iTunes, all digital media outlets. Planets in Harmony, okay, is one. And then the other one is The Zodiac Made Easy, is also on iTunes. All right. So with that, family, you need me, you got a question, follow me, man. Hit me up. You can call me direct 267-403-4078. All right. That's the office line. And then also, man, I'm on Twitter, Real Urban Guru. Instagram, Real Urban Guru. All right. Peace.
Prophecy is what we all have to go by now.